Good afternoon. Brad Nyhauser here, coming to you from my commercial real estate office in downtown Lafayette, Indiana. And boys and girls, today it's cold outside. Welcome to this edition of the Friday afternoon wrap-up. I hope you had a fantastic week. As I was driving in this morning, I watched the temperature go from 5 to 0 to -1, -4, and boy, it's really cold. And as I drove through one of the little towns I drive through every morning, there was the crossing guard there, stopping traffic so the kids could go across the main highway to get to school. And a word came to me, and we're going to talk about that today, called the little guy. This crossing guard was a man that I went to school with a long time ago. We hadn't stayed in much contact, but a couple of years ago, his dad died. And I just sent him a little note that kind of struck a nerve with me, as I had lost my dad not too far previous from that. And I sent him a little note, and one day I was driving through this town, and I saw him standing there at the crossing, and I swung around and rolled my window down, said hello, and told him I was sorry about his dad, and he thanked me, and we went on down the road. But ever since then, when I drive through that little town, I give him a big wave, and he waves at me. It just happened to make me think of the little guy, the people that do the jobs that not all of us want to do. Then there's the waitress that serves you your food at your favorite restaurant. Maybe it's a hoity-toity restaurant, maybe it's just a common restaurant. Do you give them a good tip? I didn't used to do that. I used to think, that's not my job. Well, I have flipped the script on that, probably gone way past center, and I tip very well, and they always appreciate it. Another instance of this is my office is right across the street from a retirement center. I don't know quite exactly what it is. You see in the summertime, a lot of older men sitting out on the sidewalk with their little walkers, and they're just kind of shooting the breeze. Every time I leave my office, I try to give them a big wave. Once in a while, I roll my window down and ask them if they are solving the world's problems today, and they laugh, and we both laugh, and we go on down the road. I don't tell you these stories to make me look good, pat myself on the chest. There's been many times I have ignored the little guy. Many times I have been asked for money on the street, and I just say no, go away, and that's that. But as you get older, you start to figure out that most of us are richly blessed. We have more than we need and more than we'll ever use. Now, that doesn't mean we give it away, but it means we can help the little guy once in a while. One more story. One night right here in my office, I was leaving late. It was in the wintertime. It was cold. It was probably 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I walked out to my truck, and man, out of nowhere came a lady. She come around the front of my truck, and it startled me a little bit, and she asked me if I could give her some money. She was hungry. I told her no. I said, basically said, go away in so many words. Well, I jumped in my truck, and then I thought, Brad, that was not smart. Because I had just gone to Wendy's about an hour and a half ago and bought me a grilled chicken sandwich to eat on the way home. So I got out of the truck, got that sandwich, and I hollered at her. I said, hey, if you want a sandwich, I have one. She walked over, thanked me profusely, and walked away. Now, folks, it was cold that night, and she had a coat, but I have no idea where she went. But I thought, wow, I can spare a chicken sandwich, and I sure hope it helped her. And one more little cute story, and then we will sign off for today. One day I was walking down the street close to my office, and a guy hit me up, said he just wanted $1 to go to McDonald's to buy him a Coke. He was thirsty, and it was hot out that day. So I proceeded to have a chat with him about, if he puts that up his nose or in his veins or whatever. And he looked at me just as straight as face as it could be. He said, sir, I have no reason to lie to you. And I said, sir, you have every reason to lie to me, but that's okay. I believe I either gave him a 10 or a 20. I'm not sure what I gave him. The next day, I was walking down the street. I ran into him again. He was sitting on a park bench near our office, and I said, hey, What'd you use that money for I gave you yesterday? He was smoking a cigarette. He just held up that cigarette and smiled, and I said, I hope you enjoyed them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today. It just, as I was driving this morning in the quiet of the morning, it was still dark. I just thought of the little guy and thought we would talk about it today. So I hope you had a fantastic week. This has been Brad Nyhauser coming to you from my real estate office in Lafayette, Indiana. If I can be of any help to you in any aspect of the commercial real estate business, let me know. And as usual, come Sunday morning, start the week off just in a fantastic way. Attend the church of your choice. Till next time, have a fantastic day.